Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coconut Wireless. It is Thursday, July 31st. Yes. Oh my God. My volume is on. Gosh. It's been too long. 3 weeks. Let's. What's up, everybody? Again, welcome to the Coconut Wireless. And we'll have some fun tonight, Uncle Charlie. We'll have some fun tonight, man. I think it's
Oh
been
yes.
3 weeks. 3 weeks, man. I
Mm-hmm.
got I got
Yep.
withdrawals. I like some massive withdrawals. Haven't seen you in a while, bro. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been hectic with all that's been happening, but everyone is safe. That's the main thing. That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I went to Texas. I had a conference in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago. So Patsy and I went up before the conference, spent some time with Nikki and the babies, and then I flew to Philadelphia, did my conference, came back to Texas, spent another few days, and then we came home. So we were gone for a little over 2 weeks, and the time difference is a killer, and so that's why there was no show. There was no show. But we are back and back on schedule. And yes, Charlie, let's start off with that tsunami because it was a massive earthquake. You know that it was one of the largest earthquakes in history off of Russia, and it was a real threat. It was definitely a real threat. Good evening, Jane, back from California too. Well, welcome home. Welcome home.
Hmm.
Normally that EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, they do a very good job, and we know that. They're. I've never been in the EOC during an event, but I on whatever day was it 2 days ago now. Our county clerk, who usually sits in the EOC because the clerk is responsible for signing documents and all of that stuff. So if anything pops up where they need the clerk to sign, or if we got to call a special meeting for the council for funding or whatever, that's why she's in there. But it was her birthday, so I told her, "Go home, Jade. I will go sit in the EOC," thinking that at 7:10 the first wave would come, and then shortly after that I could go home. Well, that just didn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way with tsunamis because there's multiple cycles of waves and so forth. Long story short, I just wanted to say that I got to witness firsthand our emergency operations center in action, and I got to tell you, Charlie, I was super, super, super impressed. Super
Hmm.
impressed. That is a fine oiled machine. How they have everything with checklists and how everybody knows their function, knows their role, how the information gets. Anyway, I just wanted to say mahalo to Elton Ushio and his team and all of the people that were in there. You got people from the county, the state, the private sector, and everyone's assigned to specific tasks. And while there was no, thank goodness, thank God, we didn't have any damage here. The threat was real, and as we tracked that wave coming over, hitting Midway, and seeing the size of the wave that hit Midway, the threat was real, and we are just blessed that we got spared. We got spared. So a lot of issues. The roads got clogged up on all the islands. I mean, I think they're all reassessing now. How do we fix that? Well, it's hard when you don't have lanes of road on the island. You're just so limited. So they're I'm sure they'll do a post action report, but just from what I saw, we got a good team there at the Kauai EOC anyway.
Well, it's like anything else. You rely on data that you get. That's the purpose of the buoys out there. We did see a decline after the first couple readings, right? Which would kind of indicate, unless there was an aftershock that really promoted some kind of compression beneath the ocean surface. But I like to attribute the diversion because of my cousin, Hurricane Iona. When it went out there,
That was the next thing on my list here. Hang on, here. I just gotta. I I'm so proud to know you, man. I'm so proud to know you. Uh,
Well, I was getting heckled by good friends. He goes, "Hey, Kanaka, take it easy." I told my cousin, "Don't make any kind. Just keep on going south. Just keep on going south."
not too
But you
many
know,
people get their
mm,
hurricane named after them, Charlie. Not too many people. And I don't know any Inikis,
yeah.
So um,
Well,
that's
I have there's a dance studio called the Iona. Well, they pronounce it Iona, but it's the Iona Dance Company. Um, that leaves me out of the mix, so it must be a long lost relative down the road that knows how to do that.
so.
Um,
What is the
is
right way to pronounce your name? Your name,
it's
Iona.
Iona,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's what I thought.
just like Iolani Palace, and Iona is normally
Right, like the Duke,
Yeah, yeah,
like the Duke.
exactly. So
Yeah.
with regards to this, some of the data that came out, I did a post to let people know. I gave them a breakdown of what oceanographers do, what physics oceanographers do. They really study the pressure that's generated below the surface, because as I was fearing, I started to see some negative comments, like, basically the boy who cried wolf, right? And I didn't want anybody to go down that route, because it's better to be prepared. And you could almost feel the anticipation. People wanted to see something happen. Well, many times that occurrence will happen within the immediate area of that um, impact zone, which was up in Russia. So that's why Japan got hit pretty hard. Russia got hit pretty hard. Those areas outside of it, they showed the damage from the wave action. But again, the eastern corridor of the Hawaiian Islands, Hilo, same flooding, same place. Um, there was some receding waters, but it was, and I felt sorry for all the meteorologists. They were really spinning the narrative, and I seen them trying hard, like, this is Honolulu Bay. There, look, the water's receding. Uh, could be low tide, I don't know. But at the same token, water receding, you get one guy going out on paddle board, right? So I kind of would have liked to see it, there's just an explain, we keep an eye on it and go to something else. But they tried hard, and I felt sorry for them. I really felt sorry.
Well, that's tough because you don't want to
Yep.
portray this feeling like you want to see a massive tsunami,
Mm,
right? As a
right.
newscaster,
Right.
but you're also running out of things to say because like you said, they made a big thing about the receding. We were watching all the screens, and when we saw the water recede, we figured we was going to see something happen, but it was so uneventful, and I thank God for that. We didn't need it,
Yeah.
but like you
Hmm.
said, Charlie, those news people, man, they're like, we need content. We cannot just keep on this little nothing happening. We're running out of things to say. It was quite funny to watch, but we're blessed. Like you said,
One
the
thing,
Big Island got some
yeah,
flooding. Big Island got some bad flooding.
what I would like to see is amongst all the islands, especially traffic control, is really take a look at the data of how traffic was flowing from these side streets. Like, look at Honolulu. If there was a massive hit, a lot of collateral damage because the cars could not get out of the way. And there's going to be times when you're going to have to close some roads and funnel people in a certain direction. But then, maybe Atkinson Boulevard as an example. Instead of having it turn from a two-way artery, because it comes off Alamana Boulevard and takes it onto Kapiolani, right? If you're trying to get people away from the shoreline, would it have been possible to turn Atkinson into a one-way going from Makai to Mauka so you can get more volume out of? I mean, who knows? But I think this is a very good time to look at your data, look at, as you say, an after-action report, and take a look, see what if there were strong points that could have been made, and you know how we could have maybe done better, because you can always do better.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
way I look at it. We can always do better. And this is not to criticize any of the departments because I think they did the best under the conditions they had. Every Maui example, at first they criticized Oprah because she wouldn't open up her property, but she eventually did. And I don't think people understand that there's a lot of liability when you have landowners opening up their properties, right? And you know very well, Mel, that when someone opens up their land and should something happen, that's where a lot of the legal liability occurs, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's very, very important
Hi, Patsy.
to. Hey, Patsy, how you doing?
You guys have any info about the people from the ship cruise that got left? Yeah, I mean that's exactly what happened. The boat said we're taking this ship to the deep sea, and if you're not on the boat,
Hmm.
I'm sorry. And they
Yeah.
left, and those guys were left to go find shelter.
Fend for
So
this, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean the ship. That's probably their protocol. But I want to get back to the traffic, Charlie, because you're exactly right.
Hmm.
And this is where I know Kauai was bad. Kala Hill, we had reports of people leaving their car and walking to higher ground because they couldn't move. The west side was everywhere. North Shore was, as you know, they only got one way in, one way out. It's horrible. And so there's only so much you can actually do, um, except possibly starting the evacuation a lot sooner. But then then you disrupt. So it's that they're gonna look at this. They're gonna look at this and hopefully come out with some improvements. My concern is where do we the west side go in case of a hurricane or tsunami? For the latest tsunami went up to Koke. If it's a hurricane, no way we're going up to Koke. The list of evacuation sites ended at LALA school. We really need an update on our evacuation site. That would be my only critique, I think, for us here on Kauai is um, informing the public in a way that we know that they're getting the information. When you're in a warning, that's too late to have people go check online. A lot of people don't have the ability to go online, so I think we gotta. Back in the day when we had phone books, the phone books all had the evacuation locations, but we don't have those. Nobody gets phone books anymore. So that was probably my only critique is that as a county we can do better, and we got to make sure whether it's in your electric bill or your whatever, everybody got to get this information of where to go in the event of
Hmm.
a hurricane or a tsunami. So that was what my input was, um, because that is critical. It's again, you go through this exercise and then we don't have the event, and then like you said, people get upset. Like, oh, nothing had happened. Hey, wow, man, ooh, that is cool.
Yes.
That is cool.
Yep.
I have my the up
Coconut wireless.
coconut white. Man, that is like from
That was
2021, man.
Yep. Still fits. Little bit
Yeah.
big on me, but that's okay. That's
Oh, that's
okay.
good. That's good.
That means I'm losing weight and I'm going in the right direction. So
That's
that's
right.
good.
I just
That's
buy
good.
I just
Yeah.
buy bigger shirts, Charlie. I just buy bigger shirts. So yeah, that is something that I think all the islands will be assessing, because it was the same complaint on every island, and we're limited. Kauai is so limited. If you're on the North Shore, the entire pretty much the roadway is in the tsunami zone.
Well,
So
I'll tell you this. Human nature. Okay, this is human nature now. And I don't fault anyone. But you know this human nature, people will hold out until the very last minute. And that's where you have the gridlock. Those who made it out in time, they they had a plan to leave early and roll the dice and whatever happens, happens. But they got out of the zone. They would go find, like if they went to, say, in Lihui, right?
mhm.
They would go find a place like, say, Rob's, if they were open. Go find a place just to kick back. Or in Honolulu, good friends of mine, Taylor Ho'opi and his family, he put on Facebook, he's a lead person for Touch of Gold. And so he's ex-HPD, retired. And they found a parking lot, made some friends, and sit back. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. The worst thing to be doing is driving around aimlessly in a time like this, because you'll probably run into a gridlock. So What had happened is our son, came up to check on his house in Hanapipi Heights, and he went to Hanalei, and then when everything was coming down, he turned around. But when he came back, he got stopped at Ele. What's unique about it is no cars could go down Ele down into Hanapepe. I understand because you don't want gridlock with vehicles. But if you're walking, they let you walk down. They let you walk down. So he had his little, I think it's my grandson, one of those e-scooters, those little ones.
Yeah, yeah,
He took his scooter, he went down the sidewalk, and he went all the way up Moy Road up to Hanapepe Heights, and he went home. So I picked him up the next day to go get his car. And I told him, I said, son, do not get upset because what causes the most damage is gridlock with vehicles. And a key indicator to that, remember the Maui fires where everybody just got out of their cars
hmm,
and ran? Whoever was at the front of the line started that backup. And that's what's going to happen. And I
yeah,
think that's the reason why they don't want to send cars into those areas. But again, I'd like to say, police department did a darn good job. Fire department, um, we stood up we call it a DOC at the airport because the official EOC is at Kima.
right.
So we had our version of the EOC at the airport where we're getting real live info from the airlines, what were they gonna do? And of course eventually flights got canceled and things like that. So everything went as best as possible given
Yeah,
those
and
those
that's all you
circumstances.
can.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. I mean,
Yeah.
Dana asked what would have happened if schools were in a session. It would have just made it a
Yeah.
lot worse. It would have been so much worse. Although
Because parents
some of the
parents gonna
schools,
yeah.
most of the schools actually are outside of the zone, so they would just have to, stay in place. But I'm just sorry. Just some employers did not let their people leave. Shame on them.
Yeah.
I know my wife
Hmm.
texted me early and said that the state judiciary said everybody go home. And once I got her text, I told our county clerk send everybody home, get them home so they're not part of the congestion when everybody
Hmm.
starts to evacuate. And that's exactly what happened. It was gridlock pretty much. And
Hey
then
Mel,
yeah,
can I?
people would stop and go get gas. Like really, uh, you know, go home, get to higher ground. That's what you should be doing.
Well, that's human nature, right? It's the afterthought that kind of triggers us to do things that we normally wouldn't do, right? The priorities.
Yeah,
But this is a good time to let our viewers know that it doesn't hurt to get a small bag and just get some essentials that you normally wouldn't use. Put it away and just tuck it away in your trunk behind your seat and just leave it there because
hmm,
you'll never know when you get an emergency. Because the last thing you want to do is get caught up trying to get things together when you already have something and you just take off and go for the hills.
yeah.
That to me, that would be the best thing to do.
Jimmy Trujillo, aloha, bro. It would be good to have a public debrief for the purpose of learning from the exercise of evacuating the island. Absolutely, and that'll happen.
Absolutely.
And
Hmm.
we may even do that on our show once these post-action reports are done and the critiques are all
Hmm.
reviewed and all of
Yep.
that. So much for the tsunami. A couple of positive stuff I wanted to talk about. I just saw our little league team, our Hawaii little league team from Central East Maui. Charlie, where is Central East Maui? Not sure. What part of Maui is Central East?
Central East would
Like,
be as you're going out towards Haiku, but Central would be like in Paia, all that area. Because you're going
so
out to the eastern region, yeah.
these kids are on the mainland now playing in the little league tournament that leads up to the Little League World Series, and our
Hmm.
Hawaii team just beat they won their last game yesterday 7-0. So on the second, on Saturday, they're going to be playing for the national title. They are going to be playing for the national title, and if they win on Saturday, then on Sunday they will be playing for the world championship. So go Maui, man. That is so impressive. Hawaii has done well historically at that Little League World Series, and
Hmm.
I love it when it's no offense to Oahu. Oahu, you guys get a lot of kids, but when you come from an area like Central Maui or East Maui, uh, they don't have the pool of players like the bigger cities. So when we can send our kids up there and do this extremely well, congratulations to them and wishing them the best of luck. If anybody from Maui on the call, um, good luck to all of you folks, man. They're representing Hawaii though, so awesome.
Hey, let me ask you a controversial question. As you know, the Little League from Venezuela was not allowed to participate, right, this year
I don't know.
in the
I I
yeah
I,
the
I just saw this on Facebook. That's why I brought it up.
y-
I'm not.
yeah the president rejected, the Little League, their visas to come over
Mm.
and play. So, I'm just wondering, it's sort of like how you have the Olympics and you ban one of the powerhouse like Russia or China from participating. Would we be getting a true read on who is the best of the best if they don't participate? How do you how do you work something
Yeah,
like
I,
that?
I I don't know anything about that, but yeah, I mean, if you have a country that's not participating, then that's unfortunate, completely,
Right.
totally unfortunate.
Hmm.
Um, but I guess we'll wait and see. I'm not sure. Venezuela is typically a very strong baseball program. It's a baseball country. We got a lot of pro baseball players come out of Venezuela. So yeah, I don't know. I wasn't aware of that, and that's unfortunate.
Hmm.
But we'll play on, and hopefully there'll always be an asterisk next to the winner for the 2025 World Series champion
Hmm.
because not
Yep.
all not
Yep.
all the countries were participating.
Right.
That's too bad. Couple other things, Charles. Koloa Plantation Days, amazing success. Mahalos to everybody who put that thing together. I stayed for the Capono concert at the end, and I had not
Hmm.
seen Henry Capono play for a long time, and he still got it, Charlie.
Oh
That
yeah.
that guy still got it, man.
You
He
know
is,
his I did I did security for him one time when Kukui'ula first opened, over at the landing.
yeah.
And that night, Capono played, and Dick Holtzman was part of Kukui'ula at the time.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago.
And yeah, and they brought in all these, and we had Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers come in,
Damn.
and I saw Capono up on stage with them, and I was supposed to be doing my duties, watching the crowd. Instead, I was watching him, you know, and it was just unbelievable. And he's like fine wine; he just gets better as he gets older.
It
But
was.
I'm gonna give a plug for him. He went to Punoho,
Oh
and
really?
man, yeah, he went to
Henry
Punoho.
Capono.
I went to Kamehameha. Yep, he's a Punoho grad,
Wow, I didn't know that. I did not know
and
that.
he
He don't act like on
his
Punahou graduate.
he humble. He's a very
Yeah,
humble guy.
it's like wow.
Yeah.
He was battling a cold, and
Hmm.
he had a little cough, but it didn't impact his performance at all. He had his bottled water, but man, because we grew up with Cecilio and Capono, Calapana, Olomana, all of those guys, and so a lot of his songs were from that era, and it's just wow. You could see the crowd. Um, and Colo Days Parade moved the parade this year. Now it started at 3 o'clock, so they could have an evening concert. And initially, I thought that was a bad idea, but it turned out to be a really good idea. Very successful concert. Not to mention the local talent that was playing before Henry went up. But yeah, I just wanted to kudos out to that Koloa Plantation Days committee. Arrow Kanashiro, Council Member Arrow Kanashiro, big part of that effort. He's been doing that for many, many, many years. And to get that all organized, the parade was fabulous. Kukoyula won the best float. They had an amazing float, and so they got the perpetual trophy. But it was just a great event um, that I look forward to every year. But I got to tell you, walking
Hmm.
at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Charlie, is hot, hot.
Well, it would have been hotter, I think, if it was earlier, right? What do you think? Uh-oh, frozen screen.
No,
Okay, there we go.
no, you're
There
good.
we
You're good.
go. Yeah.
Well, we
So I
usually
think it would
start
have been
early
hotter, yeah.
if we went earlier.
Yeah.
Not if we went at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is I think it's either 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I did notice that the spectators on the sides of the streets were a lot less, and I think it's because of the time. But at the end of the day, when you look at there still was a lot of people there, and the people that came into the park after the fact to watch the entertainment,
Mm.
a lot of people, and the vendors. I spoke to a couple of the vendors that were in the booths and in the under the tent, and it was a very successful event for all of them. So that was good.
Good for them.
That
Yeah.
was good stuff.
Good.
Yeah. It
Good.
when I just had finished the parade and they opened up the park at 2 and the vendors were all in there all set up. A lot of
Mhm.
them. I think they had like 75 or 80 vendors. They had two big tents. I spoke to one of the vendors and she was a little concerned, saying, "My God, there's nobody coming here." But at the end of the night, when I went back and checked, she said, "Wow, we killed it. We killed it." So good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Hey, I want
Let's
to
see.
give a quick shout out. Again, I put something on Facebook today, but I want to tell everyone who stopped by at Troy's last night, we had standing room only. We had, I had put out an earlier post that we were going to play last night, and it was so much fun. There were a lot of reunion amongst many of the people that used to come out to Color Hills to see us before, and last night, and they didn't know we were there. So so keep an eye out for those postings. We play there every Wednesday. We had fun. There are some people going back to the mainland that originally from Kauai, and a lot of their friends got to say their alohas. But Troy Morikawa and the Morikawa family has put on an excellent venue and was very, very nice. And I don't know, I just had a blast. I had a blast last night. So thank you to all. Came out.
Well, let me just say, might be hard to believe, but I we had just gone to see Charlie guys play a few wins. It was last month now, right? I guess it was before we flew
Hmm.
out to Texas, and that was the first time we had seen Charlie at Troy's. We did see him a few times up at Cala Hill Steakhouse, but like Henry Capono, you guys are like fine wine, Charlie. You guys get
Well, thank
better.
you.
I mean, if you haven't seen these guys perform, and if you're on Kauai, you gotta stop by on Wednesdays. And the nice thing about Troy's is you bring your own food. You bring your own poo-poos. They don't sell food. They give you popcorn, which is the best popcorn that you'll ever find on the island. But you can go right next door to the Chinese restaurant, or you can make your own food. You can make one potluck, whatever. So you don't even
Hmm.
worry about paying these outrageous prices for poo-poos. You bring your own. But that show that they put together is, I tell you, it's phenomenal. And if you guys haven't seen this yet on Wednesdays, if you're on Kauai, you gotta check them out. And Troy, like you said,
Thank you,
he's a
my
great
brother.
host. He's a great host.
Yeah.
They're friendly venue, clean. The bathrooms are clean, which is always important. And again, their popcorn is. Patsy thinks it's the best popcorn in the world. And we asked
Yeah.
the girl, what popcorn you guys use? What is this? And she's Costco,
Yeah.
Costco,
Yep.
microwavable popcorn, but it's wonderful. But yeah,
Yeah.
guys, you guys got to go check them out. And their ability to play songs from every single era is incredible. If you do a if you do your requests,
We won't do it.
they're gonna play it with that. Yeah. What's your instrument, Charlie? Is that a that's kind of a what your
Uh-oh.
oh no, I think she means your musical instrument. What do you
Okay.
play? Yeah.
Okay. I play a six-string bass. Yeah.
But
But the thing.
he can also play the guitar. He can also play the ukulele. He can also play
Hmm.
the drums. And he sings. He has an amazing voice. So go check him out, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy.
One thing that we're known for is we get engaged with the crowd. So there's a lot of jokes going around. There's a lot of making fun back and forth. There's so much going. And a lot of it is, and I will say this: a gentleman that performed with us, I knew him way back in the '70s when I still was in high school. I used to be a light and sound man in Waikiki. I did SOS. I did Roberto Neovera, Barry Kim, and all that. Well, That's where I met Coco Kaneali'i, the former drummer for Don Ho. He was a former drummer for Nephi Hanneman. He was a drummer for a lot of the greats, and unfortunately, he passed away. And one of the things when we had Coco on stage with us is he would engage in the crowd, and we had good fun time. And so, sometimes we go down memory lanes. We go down memory lane, and we try to bring things back. But that's what we like to do. That's what we like to do.
Yeah, last week was a rough week, man. Coco
Hmm.
Kaneali'i. I just saw Coco right before we left for Texas, and we had an awesome discussion. I mean, they're just again, man. You never know what's gonna happen, and that's
Hmm.
why you gotta treasure all those moments because there was no indication that Coco wasn't gonna be around. In fact,
Yeah.
I thought this guy was gonna be around forever and ever and ever. His energy and all of that. So, and Coco is just an incredible human being, um,
Yep.
and just so tied to this community. Yes, Sue, rest in love for Coco. But we lost Fiji. We lost Fiji. We lost. I don't know
We
how many.
lost Hulk Hogan,
Well, I was saving him for the last. I was saving
but
him for the
I
last. But
I was thinking about you when I said,
bro,
"Wow."
my heart was broken. But uh, I mean, Coco was probably the most impacting, I think. But
Hmm.
Ozzy Osbourne, Chuck Mangione, I think Connie Francis, all in Fiji, all in a short period of time, and of course Hulk Hogan. You know,
Oh, I
I,
do want to say that, and I'm sorry, but if some of our viewers didn't know, Carol Furtado, she was, she was a force to be reckoned. I knew her when she was on a commission. I saw her on a public television, um, and then she used to come listen to the Kama'ainas, and every once in a while she'd come listen to us, her and Chala. And then when I found out she passed away, it's like, you try to wrap your head around these things, and you start looking at, we're up there in age. I'm up there in age. I'm 66, and it's uh, a good drummer, Brad. He passed away too. Um, he played with, uh, Jonathan Rivera, them, and he passed away at a young age. So the vulnerability, right? Tomorrow is never promised. So you
absolutely.
got to make the best of today while you can.
Carol, I felt so bad because we were on the mainland when Carol had her services.
Mm.
But a lot of people don't know this, but Carol is my cousin. Uh, Carol's
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Carol's dad and my grandpa, my mom's dad, were brothers. So Carol and my mom were first cousins, and she was also a very strong community person that was so active,
Hmm.
and she was a Portuguese, no doubt about it. She was a Portuguese. That Madeiras bloodline was strong,
Yeah.
and her death was so unexpected. She was not sick. I mean, she got sick, went to the hospital, and never came back. And it wasn't cancer or any of that. It was just so unexpected. And I think
Hmm.
that's what hurts more. There's no preparation. It's here today, gone tomorrow. And yeah, and I feel so bad because I was not here for the services. But they got a strong family, and yeah, prayers to all of these people that we lost. And it is, Charlie, as you said, as we get older, you start to know more and more and more of the people that are in the obituaries, and that is just so. Ugh, I hate that. I hate that feeling, and it is what it is. It's life. But Hulk
Yep.
Hogan was a shocker, and he was. I just read today that, my God, I didn't. He had leukemia too, and that was
Hmm.
something that he never did disclose or tell anybody. He was an amazing icon, and as was all these people. Ozzy Osbourne, man, he was crazy. Ozzy was a nut,
Yep.
and these guys they run them hard in their lives. They abuse their
Yep.
bodies, and then Chuck Mangione, you know,
84.
he was 84.
84.
Chuck. What was the name of that song he played on his little horn? That
Um,
everybody
oh
knows the song.
shoot.
Uh, "Feel So
Let
Good" or
me. Yeah,
something.
yeah,
And it was
yeah,
just it's a song that da 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 da
yeah,
da da da
yeah.
da da da. So I told
Yeah.
Arrow, I said, hey, you know who Chuck Mangione? Nope, the young boy, right? But then I put up his song on my phone and he goes, oh yeah, I know the song. And I think a lot of people like that. But Chuck was amazing. His ability, his talent was solid, man. Yeah, so we got to create these new talented people. We have so much talent in Hawaii. That's why it's so important, Charlie. Like supporting the local musicians, supporting the local talent. We got to do that.
Here you go. It's it was called his hit was "Feel So Good"
That's the one.
from 1977.
That's the
He
one,
played the
man.
flugelhorn, that smooth jazz crossover soared to number 4 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100s in 1978.
That's in my prime. I was in my prime.
Yep.
And back then it was very hard. In fact, even today, to find a song with no lyrics, purely instrumental. It really was just his whatever flugelhorn. I think
What
I call.
local group was famous back in that 77, 78 period?
What do you mean?
What local group made
All
it
of them,
big?
huh?
Yeah, but who? But who?
Not C and
Which
K and
group?
Kalapana. All of them were.
There you
Yes,
go. You just named it. Yeah.
yeah. And
Alapana.
Kalapana actually had some very good instrumental songs too that made it really good.
Yeah,
Black Sand,
Black Sand.
Black
Yeah.
Sand.
The
Yeah,
Hurt. All of that.
The Hurt. Yeah. Oh, they're just like we grew up with that. I mean, that was just what we
Yep.
grew up with. Yeah. So it's sad when these we lose these people, but that's why
You know what I
you gotta
find?
go to Troy's. Oh, by the way, Troy's no more
Yep.
cover charge. You go watch these guys for free. You don't need to pay. Just throw the money in a tip
You know
jar.
what was really hard now is, sometimes there's lyrics where the language is just so vulgar. And some people, I mean, I can hear it blasting from a lot of these young kids' cars when they got their window down, going up. You hear it and it just blasting. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't even like a lot of the music today. Jay Morata reminded us about Malcolm Jamal Warner from the Cosby
Yes.
Show. Yes, another talented individual drowned while swimming with his daughter.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh my God. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Sad. But anyway, couple more things because I want to close out with an event that's coming up, Charlie. The UH men's basketball coming to town. So
Hmm.
I wanted to really talk about that because it's an opportunity for our kids, but also our kids. The Hawaii High School Rodeo Association uh, went out on the 27th and painted the graffiti off of the bridge by Kukuyula. Just wanted to say mahalo to those kids. These people. I know Tammy Puu is very active. I think her niece is one of the people in the rodeo. They actually participated in a parade. But when you can get your kids, whether it's a football team, basketball team, baseball team, rodeo, and you can get them connected to the community and share with them the importance of giving back to your community. That's a good thing. When my son played
Hmm.
football under Coach Derek Barrero uh, and the other guys there, it was a requirement that they had to do community service as a team. And I think that's an amazing thing. And I just saw this in the newspaper, so I thought I'd bring it up because I know a lot of you here in Kauai that watch our show know these kids, and you may not know that they were out there on their own time with the paint that was um, provided by the county, but they did all the labor. They went out there and painted up all that stuff. So um, kudos to the Hawaii High School Rodeo Association Kauai group because they went out there and did some good stuff.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So Charlie, on October 9th, which is next week Saturday, not this Saturday, but next week Saturday, Coach Ganot.
October is no
No, what did I say?
October
August.
October 9th. It's August 9th.
Did I say October?
Yes.
Really?
But no. You didn't. You didn't. You said August. Yeah. You said August.
August 9th. August 9th. You know, and I gotta say, your wife, Auntie Steph, is very instrumental in getting a lot of these things here on Kauai. And we definitely, I did say Sue Kanoho. Look at this. I know it would be Sue for correct me. What the hell was I thinking? October. Sue was in the EOC. She was in
Mm-hmm.
the Emergency Operating Center, and I got to tell you, man, she's very instrumental. She's a major part of that operation. But anyway, thank you, Sue. Um, so I have been to these clinics that are put on, and it takes a lot of it takes money to bring these people here. And Auntie Steph, and she puts this together. She gets money together, and she gets these people here. But August 9th, at the Kauai School new gym, the brand new gym, they're going to be here for a clinic for kids up to the sixth grade. So not for the big ones. This is for the little ones. All the boys and girls up to the sixth grade can come in for free and attend this clinic that'll be put on by the UH men's basketball team. 8 to 9 is registration. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see the link. You'll see the flyer, and you can register. But it's an amazing event, and even if you're not a basketball fan, you got to go and check it out, because these again, it's the same thing, right? These coaches are exposing their players to the community and doing good stuff for our kids. And
Mm-hmm.
so August 9th at the Kauai School Gym. Registration 8 o'clock, so I'd get there early. Parking is always an issue up at Kauai School, so the earlier the better. But yeah, mahalo, Charlie. Please hug Auntie Steph for us and say thank you for helping to. This is the fourth annual. This is their fourth annual.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth annual.
Yes. I definitely will. And it was always her goal to really give back to the community, because this community has really embraced us when we moved here. There's no other way I can say it. And she being the type of person in management for over 55 years, at the level of general manager. In fact, she was the first female general manager to win the very first hotel award that was given in the state of Hawaii. And so her life has always been the people. There's a lot of things that happen, but it's the people, and how can we help, give back to the people that make things happen too. And so that's why her goal has always been, hey, whether it be buying school supplies, whether it be helping kids participate in these clinics, whether it's even like doing food drives. If there's not enough protein, how can we get our local fishermen who wasn't working? How can we get them into a program where they can get compensated to go out catch fish, so then the fish can be cut and given away as part of sources for the hungry? It was always those kind of things. And so I'm glad, we're all involved, as well as you, Mel. You've been involved in couple of drives already, and Arrow and Bernard and the rest of the gang. So it's all about giving back. That's what it is. And if you were to bring her on air right now, she'd probably get upset with you,
Yeah, I know.
exposing her.
You got to bring her on, not me. Hell no, I'm not doing that.
Well, I'm just as afraid as you. I'm not going to bring her on.
Yeah, I mean, just over the years, and there's so much that
Mhm,
she has, and you and your team has done for this island, and she will uh, never tell anybody that she's involved. So, for me, kids is my passion. I love when we can get our kids in front of people like the UH men's basketball, the Wahine
mhm,
basketball. Anytime we can get our kids in front of role models that can, we watched the girls basketball, or what was it? The
yep,
girls
yep,
basketball, and the line that formed for these girls, the little ones, to get autographs and take pictures with these athletes. It's life changing. It's life
Role
changing.
models. Yep.
And if not for the community and people like Auntie Steph and yourself and all of your people, UH would not come. They don't have the budget to bring people here. They do not have the budget to bring their teams and coaches and support staff here. It costs a lot of money, and so we appreciate that because every time we get our kids in front of or expose them to role models or positive activity, it just helps us keep them on the right track. And I believe that with all my heart that we are kind of at the disadvantage here when you're living on an outer island or a neighbor island because you don't have any college
Hmm.
sports. You don't have any of that. They can go watch a high school game, but we every opportunity that we have to get our kids in front of positive role models is what we gotta do. We have to do.
Right.
Um, there was one here.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry, real quick. Pull Afi fire
yeah.
knife competition this Saturday. Michael Drake, put the info in the comments, bro. Put the info or send me the flyer so we can post it up. But yeah, that's another event. If you haven't seen that, it's and Michael Drake. If you guys don't know, he works for motor vehicle section. I think he's still there, but he actually does the fire dance too. So if you haven't seen Michael Drake and his Ohana, they're very good. But yes, Paul Afi Fire Knife Competition this Saturday at Kapaa Beach Park. Go check it out.
Well, one thing that was brought, I guess, I think it was early this year or latter part of last year, but was the Polynesian, Hall of Famers, right? We had
Yeah,
Ma'atana Vasa and all that. And to get the kids exposed, and just through that clinic that they had, there are some that got immediately recognized, and then they go over in Honolulu, and then they play in the Polynesia Bowl, right? Up at Kamehameha School, and there were a lot of scouts there. So, that's when island kids can really show their stuff
yeah.
and compete on a national level. They can show what they got.
And we have the doggone talent here. And the
Hmm.
NFL is finding out. The colleges are finding out that these Polynesian kids, these kids from Hawaii, are tough kids, and they're smart kids. And it's the exposure is what we lack, right? We don't have that exposure. Uh, I was
Right,
talking
right.
I was talking with Sue Shin. She's the president and CEO of Hawaiian Telcom, Hawaii Telcom, Hawaiian Telcom, whatever it is. And they are working right now at a deal with the high school sports that'll they'll create the infrastructure, the fiber infrastructure, so that our high school games can now be broadcasted on our local TV channels. And we're hoping to
Hmm.
see that happen this year. But any type of exposure that our kids can get is helpful.
Yep.
When these games are recorded, they have quality tape for the scouts to take a look at and give these kids an opportunity to go play some more sports. I don't care what sport it is, baseball, football, basketball, but to give them a chance. And it's unfortunate if you're on the neighbor island, you are at a disadvantage. So whatever opportunity, I can tell you, and I saw this with the girls basketball on Saturday on August 6th. At by the end of that clinic, you will. I believe that you will have really changed a bunch of those kids' lives. They will see an opportunity, they'll see the dream, it'll become real for them, and they'll be able to shake hands and take a picture with one of these kids that are playing college ball. So I believe in 100%. And
That is August 9th, Saturday.
August 9th, I said August 6th.
No, you said August 9th. So I just reiterating. So.
I You know what? That's what happens when you take a 3 week break. It's like I get so
Yeah.
excited. I get so excited, man. I No, I do, man. I'm just trying to check it out here. Hold on. I just got a text from Mr. Michael Drake here. Hold on. Oh, he sent me the flyer. Okay, I'll get it up on my page, bro. I'll get it up on my page. Yeah. So what else, Charles? What else, man?
Well, a lot of things happen, and but there's just so many things going on now. I think as the summer winds down, and there's just been a real heavy influx of visitors. But I have to say, people have been very, very patient. They have been really, embracing the fact that, these people come to visit. They, especially now with the economic times that we're faced, the uncertainty, right? These these individuals are really dumping a lot into local economy, and I just see how our locals are being very two things happen. They're very accommodating, but they are very watchful that things are done in the right way. Because that's how it's always been, right? How can the visitors come to enjoy, but make sure they respect this land? And I think what Joel Guy and the group is doing out in Hanalei Haena is actually the model. I think that, like when you want to call it destination management, right? It's the model. That's how it should be done everywhere. It produces really good outcomes, really good. And so that's what I've been noticing at the airport as well.
Yeah, I know, and I don't like rub nobody the wrong way, but this whole destination
Mm,
management thing that it came out of COVID, right? Remember when COVID,
right,
all the people was like so happy during COVID because the beaches were open and we didn't have the amount of visitors. It was a terrible impact to our economy, and that's the negative part of that. But the
right,
state came out with its destination management programs, and we're supposed to be looking for people are that are gonna. We want less people to come but spend more money. And I'm not sure how you target that kind of passengers, but I will tell you that I was on in Texas. I was in Texas. I was in on the mainland, and I was sitting in a hotel room watching the TV, and there was a commercial for Hawaii, and it was a great commercial, but it wasn't targeting anybody. It was I think anyone would be attracted to that commercial and want to come here. So I didn't see a change in the marketing. It was, I think even the
hmm
governor said the other day, he's trying to figure out a way how he can get more people to come to Hawaii. And I'm saying like you, Charlie, we gotta make sure that when we can sustain the numbers that come, so that it's a benefit for everyone, locals and visitors alike. Because if you oversaturate the place, if you have too many people in the place, then it's not just the tourists going to have a bad experience, but the locals as well. I will say that
Well,
the visitors that I encounter are very respectful. So uh, we'll see.
the one thing again that bears in mind, for people that specialize in this profession, right? In trying to make the economic engine work. And I think this goes all the way up to the governor's office. You got to realize we are now not the only place when there's sun, sea, and surf.
Yeah. So more so, and that's where Sue does a great job with the Quiet Visitors Bureau, and now she's like the
Hmm.
the big boss. She's like the big boss,
Right,
and
right.
she is so. Oh, here, look at it. I just mentioned her name. It's about balance. If you keep building more visitor units, you get more visitors. Keyword is capacity. Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up, Sue. Because I think you got to make it a good experience for everyone. And in my life, I've been blessed to have been able to go to different areas for conferences or meetings or whatever. And I can honestly tell you that there are some places that I will not go back to because it wasn't clean, or it wasn't friendly. And that's the same thing. They'll come to Hawaii, and the
Hmm.
beauty and the beaches and the sun and the surf, like you said, can only do so much. But if the experience is not there, then they are going somewhere else. And let me tell you, even some of the states that you wouldn't think as a tourist, a visitor destination area, are now
Texas.
marketing themselves. Texas. I was just watching. There was a cruise ship going through the rivers in, I think, Mississippi or Missouri. I don't know. But that
The
commercial was
Carolinas.
was
Yeah.
very compelling. And every state that you go to have uh, have a visitor attraction. So yes, there is a it is a competition, so we got to make sure that we are providing an experience that's good, not just for the visitor but
Hmm.
for the locals as well. But
Yep, exactly.
Sue, you hit it on the head as usual. Um, you just kind of always right, but whatever. You know I love you, man. So anyway, yes, Charles, that is kind of where we're at. But the visit industry is our industry, and it's going to always be our industry, and it is all about balance. So I'm just trying to look
You
at.
know,
Sorry.
there's one thing that and I keep on hopping on this, but I want people to realize we are a small dot in the middle of the ocean. We rely on air and maritime. We do not have train tracks that connect us between islands or connect us to the West Coast. There's been some great feats accomplished, like going down from southern tip of Florida down to the Keys on that super long bridge that goes over the ocean. Wouldn't it be nice, right, if they did that here? But the trench is just too deep. But if it was something like that, because I mean, just looking at a rent a car right now. My grandson is going to get married this weekend, so I'm going to go over to Honolulu to rent a car for 2.5 days. $466,
Yes,
but
Charles.
you have to rent a car.
Even the rooms, even the rooms. It is. I just saw there was a press release that came out saying, "Oh, please, local people, please consider staycations because the hotels need your help." Well, it's like, guys, when the times are good and you're cranking up the rates at 300, $400 a night for an hotel room, even the Kamaiana rate is high. Now you want us to come back, and we got to go up. I got to go get some MRIs done on Oahu, and holy moly, the prices in the hotel rooms out of this world. Alamoana Hotel was the cheapest. I did find DoubleTree in Alana, and
Yeah.
that one's good. That's a nice hotel. It's simple. They give you a cookie when you check in, and their Kama in a special though. Unlike Ala Moana or anywhere else, you get free valet parking and they waive the resort fee for Kamaaina. So that was the cheapest we could find.
Do you know who the general manager of the Alana Waikiki
No,
was
oh,
back in the 90s? We stayed in the penthouse. We lived in the penthouse. It was none other than Auntie Stephanie.
oh, really? Damn. I wish she was a general manager now. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it was the price was reasonable on that specific Kamaaina rate, but everywhere else, even the Kamainas is kind of expensive. It's kind of hard
They
to do a
they
staycation
still
knowing that you gotta go eat.
yeah.
You gotta eat too.
Well, they still have uh, reasonable accommodations like a Keppel Arms for uh, in off Dillingham in downtown Cali. You know what I mean? If you want
Charles.
to chance it,
No, I
yes.
don't want to. I don't want to chance it. I don't want to chance it. No. No, I'll sleep in my car at Alamana Beach Park. I safe over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey Charles,
No,
it's
but
been
it's
it's.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
No, it's been a tough journey. You know, I do want to say that everybody, we got to be careful. COVID is on the rise. There are new strains that now are coming out. That's and I've had it twice, and I still haven't regained my taste buds. I can just barely. There's certain things I don't know what it is, and I get really bad sinuses now since the last one. But I haven't gotten my full taste back yet.
Wow.
Yep.
I so I've had it 3 times, and this last trip I went, I swear I had it. I took 4 COVID tests because I it felt just like COVID, but it wasn't. I tested negative on every single one of them. But
Mhm.
not, it's funny you mentioned the sinus because I have my taste, but I never had a sinus issue. Never ever had a sinus issue in all my life,
Mhm.
and I never thought about that, but and now I get this sinus issues. Like I not.
I get major you know that stuffiness on my
Yeah,
left
yeah.
side, and sometimes the pressure gets so much that I gotta go into like a hot shower and try to relieve that pressure because it's just or steam or whatever. It never happened before, but it
Wow.
happened after my last bout with COVID. So uh, just everybody out there, just be careful. Just be
Yeah.
careful. That's all.
And they get
We're
that
not
new
going to force you. Yeah,
they
yeah.
get that new razor blade throat whatever. The one that when you swallow feel like you swallowing on razor blade. Holy crap.
Hmm.
Patsy just posted. Oh, let me put it back up here. Our good friend Jay Murata, he's on. He's like my brother. He's a great friend of the Coconut Wireless and the Mel and Charlie Show. His daughter has Kalo grown. She makes an amazing plate lunch. If you are on Kauai, and you gotta go quick because they sell out.
Hmm.
If you're in Lihui tomorrow, 11 o'clock, go to the Vet Center parking lot. Go pick up a plate lunch. I promise you, you will not regret it. It is phenomenal. And let them know
Hmm.
that Mel and Charlie sent you. Let them know.
Yep.
But I tell you, that doesn't last long. So go early, 11 o'clock. Go about 10:45. Because if you go too late, awanen, no more.
Yep.
Um, anyway, oh, I wanna put this one up. Kehao, because Ray's Cafe in Kalihi, if that's the one you're talking about, the one in Kalihi, kind of like a shady part of town. Um,
No, that's Race Cafe is up by it's more towards Dillingham. It's more towards Gully, if I'm
that's
not
the one.
mistaken.
Isn't that considered Kalihi?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you
So
you saw their prime rib?
yes, they're prime rib. Bruh, I went. So I went met this guy. I can't remember who it was. He said, "Bro, we go to lunch." This was many years ago, and I said, "Okay." So he was going to drive me to the airport because I was coming home, and so he's driving down. And I'm like, "Bruh, wait." I'm thinking, I'm not telling him, but I'm like, "Bruh, I don't like eat around here." So he pulls up in his parking lot. Kind of, we gotta walk a little bit, and we get into Ray's, and it's like I walk. It's like an old, almost like a, kind of like walking into a Hamura Simon kind of environment, but no
Yeah.
more kind of
Hmm.
tables. It's just maybe two or three tables with some chairs. And the prime rib at that time was $12, Charlie. $12. And I
You saw
was
recently,
no, I never see recently, but it was like the best prime rib I had ever had.
$65.
At Ray's, okay, never mind. Take back what I said. It was $12, and my God,
But good. It's good.
oh my God! But I don't care how
Can I
good it
argue?
is. I ain't paying $65 for a prime rib.
I was
Nope.
looking at it, I said, maybe that's a misprint or something. But again, but if you really want it, I mean, I've known people say, "Hey, I gotta have it. I'll pay whatever it costs." Right?
Well, I
Hmm.
promise you, at Carlo Grown, it's not 50, 60, whatever it is, but you're gonna be full and you're gonna be satisfied. So tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Veterans Kauai Veteran Center, right down on the airport road, Kapuli Highway. Go check it out. Anyway, we have.
Yes.
It's been fun, man. It's been fun. We'll do it again next week for sure. I'm not traveling.
Yep.
But
Yep.
appreciate you jumping on again tonight, Charlie. Man, it's been fun.
Thank you for the invite. And to our viewers out there, we missed you, and we're so glad that we could talk story. And thank you to those who sent in their comments and our questions. And of course, thank you to the beautiful Sue Kanoho. Always, she's truly a coconut wireless for the community as well. So thank you so very, very much.
Yeah, and appreciate that, Sue. And always, I know she's listening. I don't know if she's still on, but I am trying my best to get the chicken to be the island's bird, the Kauai's bird, and she gives me such a hard time. Um, so if you guys support the chicken being Kauai's bird, let me know. Send me a message, and Sue Kanoho, we'll see. But she's so against it. But I think Kauai should. I think that the county bird should be the chicken. Anyway, next week, guys, same time, same place. I just looked at my calendar. we're on for Thursday night, 7 o'clock, and who the heck knows what we're going to talk about. So until then, we love you guys. God bless. Take care. Ahui ho.
Aloha.